Hello students. In previous video we have seen histogram equalization and histogram matching of histogram processing. Now we will see further today about local histogram processing. So now the histogram processing methods discussed in the previous videos are global in the sense that pixels are modified by a transformation function based on the gray level content of the entire image. So this global approach is suitable for overall enhancement. There are cases in which it is necessary to enhance details over small areas in an image. So the number of pixels in these areas may have negligible influence on the computation of a global transformation whose shape does not necessarily guarantee the desired local enhancement. So the solution is to devise transformation functions based on the gray level distribution or other properties in the neighborhood of every pixel in the image. So the histogram processing techniques which are previously described are easily adaptable to local enhancement. So the procedure is to define a square or rectangular neighborhood and move the center of this area from pixel to pixel. So at each location the histogram of the points in the neighborhood is computed and either a histogram equalization or histogram specification transformation function is obtained. So this function is finally used to map the gray level of the pixel centered in the neighborhood. So the center of the neighborhood region is then moved to an adjacent pixel location and the procedure is repeated. So since only one new row or column of the neighborhood is changes during a pixel to pixel transition of the region, updating the histogram obtained in the previous location with the new data introduced at each motion step is possible. So this approach has obvious advantages over repeatedly computing the histogram over all pixels in the neighborhood region each time the region is moved one pixel location. Another approach used sometimes to reduce computation is to utilize non-overlapping regions, but this method usually produces an undesirable checkboard effect. So now here figure A shows an image that has been slightly blurred to reduce its noise content. So figure B shows the result of global histogram equalization, as it often the case when this technique is applied to smooth on noisy areas. So figure B here shows a considerable enhancement of the noise with a slight increase in contrast. So note that no new structural details were brought out by this method. So local histogram equalization using a 7 by 7 neighborhood relieved the presence of small squares inside the larger dark squares. So the small squares were too close in gray level to the larger ones, and their sizes were too small to influence global histogram equalization significantly. So note also the finer noise texture in figure C, a result of a local processing using relatively small neighborhoods. Now use of histogram statistics for image enhancement. So instead of using the image histogram directly for enhancement, we can use instead some statistical parameters obtainable directly from the histogram. So we recognize this expression as the variance of R, which is denoted conveniently by S2 of R. The standard deviation is defined simply as the square root of the variance. So in terms of enhancement, we are interested primarily in the mean, which is a measure of average gray level in an image, and the variance, which is measure of average contrast. So we consider two users of mean and variance of enhancement purposes. So the global mean and variance are measured over an entire image and are useful for gross adjustments of overall intensity and contrast. A much more powerful use of these measures in local enhancement, where the local mean and variance are used as the basis of making changes that depend on image characteristics in a predefined region about each pixel in the image. So let R denote a distance. R denote a discrete random variable representing discrete gray levels in the range 0 to L minus 1, and let P of Ri denote the normalized histogram component corresponding to the ith value of R. As indicated previously in this section, we may view P of Ri as an estimate of a probability of occurrence of gray level Ri. So the nth moment of R about its mean is defined. So we can see here m equal to epsilon I 0 to L minus 1, which is the limit Ri equal to P of Ri. So now un of R equal to equal to 0 to L minus 1 Ri minus m raised to n into P of Ri. Now delta square equal to U2 of R equal to epsilon I equal to 0 L minus 1 Ri minus m raised to square P of Ri, which is average intensity and its variance. So here m equal to epsilon I equal to 0 raised to L minus 1 Ri P of Ri equal to 1 upon mn epsilon x equal to 0 up to m minus 1 and epsilon y equal to 0 is to n minus 1 f of xy. So here xy be the coordinate of a pixel in the image, and sxy denote a neighborhood of specified size centered at xy. So it follows from the equation that m0 equal to 1, m1 equal to 0, and the second moment is given by this equation. And here in the variance, so is equal to 1 upon m by n, x equal to 0 to m minus 1 and y equal to 0 to n minus 1 fxy minus m raised to square. Now here is the local average intensity, which is m sxy equal to epsilon I equal to 0 L minus 1 Ri into P sxy Ri. So here sxy denotes the neighborhood, so local variance is delta square sxy equal to epsilon I equal to 0 to L minus 1 Ri minus mx sxy raised to square into P sxy Ri. So here is the figure in which SEM image of a tungsten filament magnified approximately 130 by 130. Here is the result of global histogram equalization, and in image C, image enhanced using local histogram statistics. So this figure shows the scanning electron microscope image of a tungsten filament wrapped around a support. So the filament in the center of the image and its support are quite clear and easy to study. So there is another filament structure on the right side of the image, but it is much darker, and its size and other features are not as easily discernible. So local enhancement by contrast manipulation is an ideal approach to try on problems such as this. So where part of the image is acceptable but other parts may contain hidden features of the interest. So in the particular case, the problems to enhancement dark areas while leaving the light area as unchanged as possible, since it is not require enhancement. So a measure of whether an area is relatively light or dark at a point xy is to compare the local average gray level, the average image gray level, which is called the global mean and denoted by mg. So we have the first element of our enhancement scheme. We will consider the pixel at the point xy. So it is as a candidate of the processing if where k0 is a positive constant with the values less than 1.0. So we are interested in enhancing areas that have low contrast. We also need a measure to determine whether the contrast of an area makes it candidate for enhancement. So we will consider the pixel at a point xy as a candidate for enhancement sigma sxy less than equal to k2. So k2 into dg. So if where dg is the global standard deviation and k2 is a positive constant, the value of this constant will be greater than 1.0 if we are interested in enhancing light areas and less than 1.0 for dark areas. So we need to restrict the lowest value of the contrast. So otherwise, the procedure would attempt to enhance even constant areas whose standard deviation is 0. So we also set a lower limit on the local standard deviation by requiring with k equal to k less than k2. A pixel at xy that meets all the conditions for local enhancement is processed simply by multiplying it by a specified constant e to increase or to decrease the values of its gray level relative to the rest of the image. So summary of enhancement method is let fxy represent the value of an image pixel at any image coordinate xy, and let gxy represent the corresponding enhanced pixel at those gxy equal to e into fxy if msxy m of sxy less than equal to k0 into mg and k1 delta g less than equal to delta sxy less than equal to k2 delta g. Otherwise, mg is a global mean and delta g is a global standard deviation. So here k0 equal to 0.4, k1 equal to we will get k0 equal to 0.4, k1 equal to 0.2 and k2 equal to 0.4 and e equal to 4. So as indicated previously, e, k0, k1 and k2 are specified parameters. So mg is the global mean of the input image and dg is the global standard deviation. So the enhanced image obtained with the method just described in this figure. So in comparing this image with the origin in the figure, we note the obvious detail that been brought out on the right side of the enhanced image. So it is important to point out that the enhanced portions of the images with the light areas were left intact for the most part. So we do not the appearance of some small bright dots in the shadow areas where the coil meets the support stem and around some of the borders between the filament and the background. Now spatial filtering. So some neighborhood operations work with the values of the image pixels in the neighborhood and the corresponding values of a sub image that has the same dimensions as the neighborhood. So the sub image is called a filter, mask, kernel, template or window, with the first three terms being the most prevalent terminology. The values in a filter sub-image are referred to as coefficients rather than pixels. So the concept of filtering has its roots in the use of Fourier transform for signal processing in the frequency domain. So now we are interested in the filtering operations that are performed directly on the pixels of an image. So we use the term spatial filtering to differentiate this type of process from the more traditional frequency or domain filtering. So the mechanics of the spatial filtering are is illustrated in this figure. So the process consists of simply moving the filter mask from point to point in an image. So at each point of xy, the first the response of the filter at the pointer is calculated using predefined relationships. So here the for linear spatial filtering, the response is given by the sum of products of the filter coefficient and the corresponding image pixels in the area spanned by the filter mask. So in general linear filtering of an image f of size m into n with a filter mask of size m star m into n is given by the this expression. So g of xy equal to a is equal to minus a to a, t equal to minus b to b into w of s t f of x plus s and y plus t. So where from the previous paragraph a equal to m minus 1 into 2 and b equal to n minus 1 into 2, to generate the complete filter image, this equation must be applied for x equal to 0, 1, 2, p, m minus 1 and y equal to 0, 1, 2, p, n minus 1. The process of linear filtering given in this equation is similar to a frequency domain concept called convolution. For this reason, linear spatial filtering is often referred as a convolving a mask with an image. So here filter masks are sometimes called a convolution mask, and the term convolution kernel is also in the common use. Thank you.